Building relationships. It's the news you want to hear, right? Overall crime is down in Charlotte so far this year. 8% to be exact. This is according to CMPD's mid-year crime report that was released last month. And during their report, the department touted its efforts to get out in the community, particularly intervening with young people at risk as a factor in these encouraging numbers.
We are committed to making a difference in the lives of these young people. That's why our JADE officers continue to make home visits to families of these at-risk youth to provide educational resources aimed at prevention and support.
Now, when we talk solutions to crime, many advocates stress the importance of community policing. That's an approach to form partnerships and problem-solving techniques to address public safety issues. It's something the Department of Justice actually spends millions of dollars investing in. And that's part of where tonight comes in, as police departments, you got your sheriff's office, fire departments across the country participating here in National Night Out. Now, unfortunately, many of them in our area were postponed or had to be moved indoors because of the rain. So whether it's tonight or later this month, National Night Out is a chance for neighbors to get to know the men and women who protect and serve them every day, and then vice versa. But it's also an opportunity to build some trust, and that trust is needed. In fact, I want you to look at this. This is a Gallup poll. It was conducted last year, and it found 51% of Americans have either a great deal or quite a lot of confidence in our police. That's the number here. That is up 8 points from 2023, which was the lowest level on record, and it's up 3 points from 2020 when the murder of George Floyd happened by the knee of former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin.
I think policing in America continues to evolve, continues to seek opportunities to be better, and continues to build trust. But also policing in America needs to do a better job of highlighting the many times that our police officers get it right in very tense, dynamic, dangerous situations where there is no loss of life, there is no use of force, or there's a minimal use of force, and the situation's resolved. Because for everyone that's wrong, that's horrific, that is criminal, there are tens of thousands where we get it right.
Yeah, context to remember here. So studies show bringing neighbors and stakeholders together with decision makers and officers can be a very effective tool to address crime prevention. In fact, according to a study by Princeton University researchers, positive contact with police in urban areas substantially improved neighbors' attitudes towards police, including their willingness to cooperate with officers. In fact, just take a look at what's happening in the Sugar Creek corridor in Northeast Charlotte. Neighbors there, they're working with police and local leaders to try to tackle the rise in crime in their neighborhood.
I'm gonna call on those resources that will help me not only to get people put in jail, but to have a foolproof plan that will prevent people from going through that revolving door and going back out on the streets, and we have the same thing continuing over and over again.
If there are people who need housing, we can provide housing. If there are people who need mental health services, we can provide those. If they need food, clothing, and shelter, we can provide those issues.
And it's nights like tonight, National Night Out, where you start to build that trust, build those relationships so that partnerships like this can continue year-round.
National Night Out is great, but unless you take that on throughout the rest of the year, continue those relationships, continue to get to know your police officers and your sheriff deputies and all of your first responders, then that's going to make this community safer.
Yeah, important part of the message there. Coming up next here on Your